You see, in Nigeria, discouraging people from committing crime in order to get to the top, sometimes it's difficult to prove, it's difficult to defend. When you're trying to dissuade Nigerians from going into crime just because they want to belong to the elite group, you find it more difficult to do it because you can't really give them enough reason why they shouldn't do it, why they shouldn't get to the top, knowing that when you are at the top, you get everything goes your way. Nigeria don't always punish you according to the crime or the offense, but according to who you are. You get the point now? I'm trying to talk about the recent tale of two offenders at the Nigerian airport. Two people recently committed a crime or an offense against the aviation authorities of Nigeria. And based on their profile, individual profile, they were punished separately, differently. That tells you the rich, the affluents always have their way. First was a case of, is it not Kwamwan they call this man? A very popular and known musician. He's a top celebrity in Nigeria, an influential figure. We all saw his issue at the Abuja airport with, what did they call this airline? Something, Value Jet. Is it not Value Jet or thereabout? We all saw how it happened. I think he came late. The aircraft was already boarded and the door was shut and wanted to go. We saw how this man stood in front of an aircraft. The aircraft would not move. He did all manner of despicable things at the airport. At the point of doing all of this, what happened? The security personnel on ground were begging him. This is a big man for you. Then we saw a case of another young lady with Ibom Air. This young lady, we have no idea, we have no details yet what may have transpired during the flight. But from video that has been revealed to us, we saw this lady trying to come down from the plane when the plane has finally landed, and the air hostess blocked her from coming out. Perhaps there was an order to deny her going out. Maybe she has committed an offense, we don't know. So from there was argument and they had a fight. We all saw how this girl was being dragged down, being stripped naked. Because of what? She's a nobody, perhaps the daughter of a nobody. Whereas there was an influential one who stood in front of an aircraft, that an aircraft should not move and cannot move. Even during that process, the flags he was holding, he threw it at one of the security agency, the security officer on ground. But in all of this, they were begging him, Oga, I beg, not vex. But the young lady was being dragged down like a dead rat from the aircraft. As we speak now, the lady we are aware has been detained in Kirikiri prison in Abuja. Whereas the other Oga is at home. This Oga was said to have been given a ban for 6 months. That same 6 months, you and I know will not stand. But as for the young lady, they said for life. She could never be seen on an aircraft within Nigeria. I don't know if international is inclusive. Giving her a life ban on the same crime. They both committed the same crime. And you and I know the crime committed by this big Oga would definitely not stand because the influencer will get involved. Okay, let me show you this. I already saw this on the news, and like I'm displaying now. This is an appeal from MC Oluomo, as in the president's lawyer guy who know who MC Oluomo is. He's already appealing. He said, please consider one legacy. MC Oluomo appealed to Tinubu and Keyamo that they should lift the ban. The big whips will press button for their colleague, and that ban that they said 6 months will not stand. But you see that of the young lady, the nobody and the daughter of a nobody, that life ban will just stand if appropriate care is not taken. So is this the Nigeria we are supposed to have, where the crime is not be punished, where the offender is not be punished according to the crime, but according to the offender? Your profile and personality have a lot to play? No, now. We can't continue like this. Of course we cannot. This is not the country we tend to have. This is a country that encourages crime. People will do all sorts of despicable things, knowing that when you have the money, you are able to join them up there. Obviously, you are above the law to a very large extent. This shouldn't continue. This should stop. If things continue like this, then you won't believe the Nigeria will have. That's why our law enforcement agencies aren't that useful, because they are powerless and weak against the powerful and elite. Only very brutal against the children of the poor and perhaps the poor. Which other same country does things happens like this? I guess it's only Nigeria. Maybe there will be other African country. But Nigeria, as the biggest black nation in the whole world, should be leading by example. All this nonsense must stop. Two people committing the same crime, treating them separately because one is a public figure. Who does that? Guys, want to help me share this video. See you guys again in my next video. Nigeria is so annoying.